Good morning from California, and welcome to Tea After Dark. I am Grego. This is episode 2. Right here, I have Ian Levine. We talked a
Hello.
couple of days ago. Hello, Ian. Welcome.
We did, but I wasn't expecting you to like it so much that you would call me back for another podcast. And it's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. This is awesome. When we were talking, you told me about Alice in Wonderland, and somehow I had missed that. So
Yeah.
thank you for sending these to me when I asked. And let's talk about this because this is something that was under my radar. And I want other people to be aware of this. And thank
Surprised,
you for your time on it.
surprised it was so under your radar. Now, it's 4 1-hour episodes. We have finished 2 complete hours, first 1 and 2, and we've also got the first 6 minutes of part 3. And you've got them all now. So we're over the halfway point. That's what I'm saying. I've managed to do without investors, because I need the investors very badly. I've managed to get this far. I only wish I had a couple of investors to quickly finish the rest. We're going to finish it hopefully by the end of the year, but it's left me terribly short of money, of course, because I'd paid for it all myself. And my detractors accuse me of using a Doctor Who contribution to this, which is totally untrue. This has been funded by a lot of my family who all put £1,000 or £2,000 into it and been very happy. They love what I'm doing, but nothing to do with the Doctor Who contributions at all. Because this last week we just put 2 new Doctor Who episodes up for the contributors, so I couldn't possibly be using one for the other because both are happening at the same time. Does that
Okay.
does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does, and it's something that I had not considered because I'm actually surprised that I hadn't seen this. And I think the reason is that Ian, I don't use Facebook. I haven't for like 20 years, and that seems to be where you primarily are. So it would make sense as to why I missed this. Now, when did this start? What made you decide to do this, and when did you get started on it?
Okay, we must have got started last 2024 around August, September. I had to plan it well in advance. You see, it requires an awful lot of live actors, actual real people. And so we started, and I had to get the script ready. I have a wonderful guy who helps me with the Doctor Who's. His name's Ian Andrew Pritchard, and he actually took the book for me. I had a lot of changes to make, nothing to take away from the book. That's the point. Every other Alice in Wonderland in history, from the first one in 1915, a black and white silent movie, to the ones in the 1930s with Gregory Peck, in the 1950s with Disney's cartoon, in the 1960s with the English one with Michael Crawford who's Frank Spencer, the 1970s one with Whoopi Goldberg. Then there was
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
hor- the horrible Tim Burton one, which I hate because he didn't make it about Alice in Wonderland. He made it like a sequel. It wasn't about the original story. Not one of those films. And then there's a TV series. Doctor Who producer Barry Letts made a version for the BBC for Sunday afternoon children's classics. And there have been lots of versions for TV, and not one of them has ever been like the story of the book, because there were 2 books. The second book, Alice Through the Looking Glass, has
Right.
some very well-known characters: Humpty Dumpty and Tweedledum and Tweedledee, and the Walrus and the Carpenter. So all those ended up being in the Disney film and the Cary Grant one. None of them have ever told a story from the book, and I always found that frustrating because the book is very Victorian and very dark. It's coming from a strange place. You must understand that Lewis Carroll, who wrote it, he was a vicar called Charles Dodson, a reverend, and he was later worked out to, although he never acted on it, he was a paedophile lusting after Alice, you see. Alice was one of 3 sisters that he took on boat rides. And the parents, Lorena and George Liddell, Lorena Henry Liddell, I'm sorry, the parents started to realize he was taking photos of Alice, and some of them were quite indecent. And they saw a very dark side to it, so they kind of cut him out of their lives. And I think he never acted on it. He was not a Jimmy Savile of his time, certainly not. He never acted on it, but I think scientific proof shows that he did harbor feelings, and that's what all came out in the darkness of the book.
Wow.
Now, in
That's
1980,
let me,
Listen, in 1981, Verity Lambert, who was the first producer of Doctor Who, made a film with a company, Cinema Verity, called Dream Child. Now, the word Dream Child is in the poem that Lewis Carroll recites at the beginning of the book about the Dream Child, which is Alice. And that's why they call it Dream Child. And this book, this story of this film that Verity Lambert made, was set in 1932 when the original Alice character, who was being made told the stories by the Reverend Charles Dodson, when she was 80 and she went to New York. They paid a fortune for her to go to New York with a companion and to stand up at lectures and tell what she remembered about Lewis Carroll, about Alice, because she was the real life Alice from Alice in Wonderland. So she became very famous. She went on this boat, and all this is in the beginning of the story. Explain it all. So she has very dark childhood memories of the Verity Lambert film. She has a mixed set of feelings about the darkness of how the Lewis Carroll, the Reverend Charles Dodson, felt towards her. I think she knew in a way because he was having putting her in sort of almost rude, semi-naked things with cloths on. It's all you'll see. It's at the beginning anyway, and she held dark repressions about what had gone on. And Verity Lambert's company dwelled on that by getting the Muppet people,
Jim Henson.
yeah, the Muppet
Yeah.
people in to create the monsters from Alice, the animals, the Mad Hatter and the March Hare, the caterpillar and the griffin and the mock turtle. And in this film, Dream Child, these were really creepy, scary, nightmare versions of the children's book. I looked at, oh my God, if only we could have a whole film like this. We never have, but until now. Now we've done it. I've taken
Wow.
the idea from Verity Lambert, who's not with us anymore. I've taken the idea because Alice in Wonderland is not in copyright. It's 165 years old, which means that nobody owns it. Do you understand what I mean? So many
Hmm.
years after the vote, right? It's free. It's public domain. It's called. So anyone can
Right.
make a version of it. We just wrote our own unique script to it, using the dialogue from the book, but adding extra bits like making the Queen of Hearts extra brutal, making the White Rabbit extra crotchety. I've not took anything out. Everything's there, faithful to the original, but I've embellished and extended it. That's what I've done, which is why it's 1 hours. When the Disney film was 1 hour and 15 minutes, ours is 1 hours because it properly addresses how the story got told. Anyway, I always, when I saw The Green Child in the 80s, I always thought I would love to do something like this. In the 90s, I bought my first digital video camera, which is when I started making a documentary about my own family. And I
Hmm.
made a huge documentary that won an award about Northern soul music. We went to America and we filmed 131 different singers talking about their careers and miming to their performances and then re-recording the performances so that we could situate the new version into the old version, which they mimed to. Does that make sense again?
Well, it doesn't. It makes sense, yes, but it's also very surprising to learn of because I didn't. You never told me about that, and I did not know. And
Oh, on
you're
the wall,
doing you.
which we did a box set, 6 DVD box sets, running for 24 hours, 6 discs, and which magazine voted the best DVD box set of the year.
Okay,
Okay,
well,
right, let me
you've got.
explain that. I bought this Sony digital camera in 1995. The
Oh, those
first
are
one, came,
expensive back
first
then.
one that came out. They were so expensive then. I
Yeah.
bought it because it made sharp, high definition. It wasn't HD, but crystal, full definition of what was SD, in really not like VHS recorders or anything, which was fuzzy. But it made crystal sharp digital copies. So I got there were lots of actors in my family. There was a lady who used to be the head mistress. She was 90 at the time, Bryna Richmond. She was the head mistress of a Jewish girls' school called Hillel House, but she did amateur acting, and everything about her suggested the Duchess. She looked like the Duchess. She was the Duchess. So that's what gave me the idea. Let's cast her as the Duchess. So I sat down with my secretary in 1996, and we wrote the whole script of Alice from start to finish from the book. We transcribed all the dialogue, and then I would go back over it and add bits. It was difficult because you couldn't do it on a computer then. You had to do it on typewriter.
Yeah.
But we did. We got the whole script done in 1996. And then nothing ever, it was too complicated. Nothing ever happened. We couldn't afford to do it really because it would involve sets and, you got a long hall with all sorts of doors and curtains and things where it gets flooded. We couldn't have done that really then.
Well, in 1996, I had totally wanted one of those Sony cameras. I kind of had this pipe
I
dream of
only had
sneaking it
one.
into the theater and recording Star Wars.
I ended up with 3 because I had to film The Strange World of Northern Soul, which was in 98. So Adi, my assistant, my new assistant who worked for me then, I sent her to America with 2 cameras. So if a person was going to sing their performance, we put one camera at their face and the other camera at their side view, and we cut and edit between the two, so it wasn't boring. It wasn't all one shot. And then I had to buy a third one because I was filming stuff in England while he was in America. So I had to end up with 3 cameras, which cost a lot of money at the time.
Yeah.
But having got the cameras, then I thought we can do Alice in Wonderland. But it never happened until January of last year, 2024. I started to make my Doctor Who reconstructions with the Dalek Master Plan. I had seen, obviously I'd seen all the cartoon versions, but I watched the cartoon version of the Celestial Toymaker. I saw clips before it was even finished. I looked at it and I just said to my friend Derek, I said, "Fuck this! I'm doing it myself. I can't stand to see it ruined." And so I spent 2 years using photographs from telesnaps and photographs from the BB, from actual photographs from the production. Like in Marco Polo, there's like 1,000 photos in existence. So we used all the photos taken on the sets to authentically make the mouths move and then turn and walk and stuff. So in the end, we had a 7-episode story of Marco Polo that looked like the real thing that was transmitted.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Now the Doctor Who fans are so excited because they think some episodes might turn up. I'm not as excited because if they do turn up, they won't look that much different to the ones we did. It was that technology. Basically, I had to go on to People for Hire and other places to get hold of. I didn't know where to start.
Well, you know what I would like, Ian, I would like to see your Marco Polo because I don't have it. The only episodes of your reconstructions that I have is 2 of them that you sent me, and I've never asked you for any of them.
I'll send you Marco Polo when we finish.
Oh, awesome. Okay, thank you.
The point I absolutely must make here is that you can't just hire someone. They can press a button and make one of these reconstructions. It takes a massive amount of skill and talent. How would I going to find people that can use AI in a talented way to make my episodes? So I advertised for people, and People for Hire, another one. Can't remember the other one was called. Anyway, I got hundreds of replies. Most of them was, "I would love to do this for you. I want £100 deposit, and I will make you a clip." Now that's all very well and good if I start paying out for deposits. I ended up paying out for 20 deposits, right?
Okay.
Out of 20 people charging me £100 each, only one was any good. Only one. His name is Ronnie Rochdale, who's done a lot of work for me. And he used someone who I met later called Ihan Chowdhury, who is the director of Alice. Basically, sorry.
That's okay.
Started out with the Dalek Master Plan. And
you want to take a break for a second? Or
No, not when I'm on a flow.
Okay.
I just got a tickle in my throat, that's all.
Yeah, the stuff that happens when you're live.
No, but it wouldn't happen normally. But the cancer treatment for 6 to 9 months involved a great deal of radiation. After I had 3 operations here. I'm taking. This is not my actual nose. This is skin from my forehead, replacing my nose. It doesn't look too bad that now, thankfully.
I would have never known.
But the cancer, it does, because this eyebrow goes up because what they took, and this eyebrow goes down, and you can see here. It's
wow.
normal, but at least it doesn't shock people and make kids go running away in the street. That did after my first operation when they had raw skin on my nose. I went with my assistant, Lady Denny, to an ice cream parlor across the road from the hospital. I couldn't eat it all, so there was an untouched tub. So this mother and daughter, and I wasn't thinking. I said, "Would she like my ice cream?" And they ran away because I was looking like Frankenstein with big, flap of skin on my. Oh, I shouldn't have done it anyway. I always felt guilty over that. But you can't see yourselves as others do. What I'm saying is that. What was I saying? I was getting
Did you?
What was that? Why was my nose relevant to the looking for animators?
Oh, okay. So the all of these people, you sent these deposits to about 20 people
Yeah,
and found one person
yeah,
that was up
yeah.
to the
His,
the
his
quality that you wanted.
yes, Roni, and his
Roni.
his first one, part one of the Dalek Master Plan, was good enough to enjoy, but was not good enough to make people happy. That people that saw it said, "Well, it doesn't. It looks a bit, he's that kind of moving side to side. It doesn't look right." And so, indeed, as he got better with every episode, which he did, well, a year later, I had him redo the first episode 1, 3, and 11. I redid them all because he was so much better. Because no one had ever done these black and white things, trying to make them look like the real films before, ever. Few fans had tried, but nothing on the level that I was doing properly, full episodes. So obviously, the person that's doing the most, by the time he's done 10, he's much better than when he did his first one. That
Yeah.
must make sense? So that's why
Yeah.
we went back and paid again to do the early ones. So it's only these people that are trained up in 2024, constant training to get good enough where, certain things after a while, they blew me away. The guy who was doing Alice in Wonderland, when he did the Moonbase part 1 and part 3, they actually looked like part 2 and part 4. They looked real. And that gave me the realization, yes, you can now do Alice. Because if you can get them,
Ah.
I thought I'm going to get someone to draw the characters and then have the AI people doing Doctor Who animate them so they look live. Now that's what I was saying. I blew £2,000. No, £2,000. Yeah, 2,000. I blew £2,000 just testing people until I had
Okay.
someone.
Well, this is
Then with
making
Roni,
sense.
he found me other people that were good enough. And this guy Ehan who's doing it. Roni's still doing more than anybody. He just finished the Lord of Time Part 4. At the moment, he's doing my new Doctor Who, Summit 28, which is my personal favourite of the ones we've done. And he's doing that. So he's working all the time. Although I'm very tight for money, it's all gone. I'm trying to scrape together whatever I can, getting anyone to contribute that they can, because we're getting to the stage now when, okay, we finished all 97. We're now improving some. We're reading the Space Pirates at the moment. We've already done 4 of the 6 Space Pirates. Next, I'm going to do other odd episodes from the Master Plan. So we'll still keep going, but Alice is now a possibility, which it wasn't before. We can make Alice that looks like an animation company spent £1 million on it, easy, for £60,000. That's what we're doing.
Okay. And I want to say hello to Vanilla in the chat. Listen, Vanilla, I don't censor or moderate anything, but you need to have some respect if you're going to be in the chat, okay? Because I can kick you out. So let's. It's something not worth reading. You want me to put it on the screen? You want me to put it on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. He's saying Levine is insane, thinking Amazon or Netflix would be interested in
Okay,
this.
fuck you, Vanilla. Fuck you. Because how do you know? You haven't even seen a fucking bit of it yet. We're going to show some clips today, but fuck you, you arsehole. I've got no patience with people like you. I'm ill. I nearly died 3 times. I've got a lot of effort into this, and it's something that matters to me. I'm not asking you to like. You've got no bloody right to watch it. Can't you
All
ban
right.
this? Can we ban this person, please?
Yeah.
Can you
Okay.
ban him?
Sure.
Please
Let me.
ban him.
I've never done that before. Let
I
me
don't want
see.
this person seeing the clips we're going to show, so I'd rather you ban them.
All right.
Look, Doctor Who fans hate me because I'm outspoken.
Done.
But, if I hadn't been outspoken, then in 1978, I wouldn't have gone into the BBC Enterprise stop Pamela Nash from destroying the Daleks, which was all on the floor taped up. I wouldn't have then managed to save all the rest from being destroyed. Because I'm pushy and because I can be loud, I get things done. Okay, not everyone likes it. I mean, my haters will argue back. Well, Donald Trump gets things done. He's the person I hate most in this whole
Let's not
world.
let's not talk about him today, please.
No, but I'm just
I
really,
I, I don't I don't I don't even I don't like hearing that name.
I'm
So
really angry about what you just showed
I
me. Really
okay.
angry. What
Don't
was
worry
the
about
point?
it.
What was the point of
It's called trolling, and you are familiar with
have
that because you used to be on
yes?
Usenet
Have we
before the
shown a
internet.
clip yet? Have we shown a clip yet?
No, that's a good
Well,
point.
how do they know? How can they say Netflix, Amazon will never touch it when they haven't seen any of
It's
it?
people hiding behind handles behind keyboards, Ian.
Makes me so sick.
You're very well familiar
Please
with that.
reassure me
So
that you banned them. Please reassure me you banned
yeah,
them from
yeah,
YouTube.
it
So
yeah, it
they can't.
says that they are banned and their comments are removed. Now I don't censor people, but you're
No, I
a
don't. Oh,
co-host on here, so
I'm not. There's a
I'm good
difference
with that.
censoring and dealing with the trolling that I've had to deal with in my life. The pure hatred. It's either anti-gay or anti-Semitic or just they hate Ian Levine because they didn't like a female Doctor Who. It's all of that combined together creates people like that person in Arizona who's just toxic to the core. And I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, I
You know,
know. I've seen it. Just
all the
don't
people
give
I
them.
was at my birthday party, I had 70 people there. When we showed a clip from Alice, they all stood up and applauded. The whole restaurant. Massive applause. People don't have to do that if they don't want to. Nobody's saying to them, go ahead and applaud. I mean, I'm not no, I'm not you know who. But
Right.
I just they did. They even the owner of the restaurant was raving about it.
Well, you do have fans, Ian. You know, I remember reading what you were saying way back in the '90s on
I
Usenet,
I do have
and
fans, and I do have people who love my Doctor Who reconstructions. People that my peers like Jeremy Bentham, Richard Landon, and wonderful people like Stephen Cranford and people like that who really, really enjoy what I've done and really have derived as much pleasure out of them as if 97 episodes have turned up and come back. 97 episodes will never turn up and come back. Having said that, BBC's, they think they're going to get some back from film is fabulous. Oh, that's nice. Ian, I don't hate you. Thank you, Star Mole.
okay, Star Mole, thank you. That's very kind of you. And anybody else in the chat, just don't fuck around because
Just
you need to people. You need to have some respect here, okay? Because
why
I think you're going to really love what we're about to show.
why the hate? I mean, especially if you want to watch this, it must mean you have some mild curiosity in seeing Alice in Wonderland, which, as I said, I love since a kid. So it's got nothing. Well, I can't say it's got nothing to do with Doctor Who because it's got Nicola Bryant, who was Perry, as 3 different roles: the duck and the pigeon and the Alice's sister.
Wait a second. What? Nicola Bryant?
Yeah, I told you this the other day. You both should
Well,
register.
I no, it did
Yeah,
not
Nicola
register.
Bryant is one of the stars of Alice in Wonderland, as is John Leeson, who was K9, of course, and various other roles in Doctor Who, like Power of Kroll and stuff. John
Okay.
Leeson is the pelican, and he is the caterpillar, and I think he's got one other role. He's in it 3 times. Daniel Hill, a marvelous actor who was the star of Sharda. If you've ever watched Sharda, he was Chris Parsons, the one who got the book. Have you watched Sharda? Do you know Sharda?
Shudder. Yeah, isn't there like 7 different versions of it?
Yeah. They call him Young Parsons in it, right? So
Yeah.
he's anyway. He's playing the Griffin, and he's playing the Mad Hatter. He's brilliant, and lots of
There's
other roles too.
okay, you did mention that, and yeah, it just
I
did
said
not sink in.
about rice and chips.
Okay,
So
yeah, didn't
I
Ian
got
share
to
the?
be careful here. There's a rice and chips been slagging me off on on YouTube, slugging me off mercilessly. So if that's the one, I don't want to play into his hands. But I did. I gave people a chance for one day, for 24 hours only. You can watch the first episode of Alice. So I immediately took it down after 24 hours. A lot of people missed it. But
Okay,
those
wait a second. Wait a second. What? Okay, why did it get taken down?
I took it down. I
You
didn't
took
want
it.
to.
Okay,
Didn't
so
want
you
it
had
up there. I said Anyone that genuinely wants to see it, I'll give you a 24-hour window, a chance. I put it up at 8 o'clock, I think, on a Wednesday, and took it down at 8 o'clock on a Thursday. I just wanted to give people a chance to see it, so they could
Okay.
see it wasn't crap. They could see it wasn't bullshit. And in
Okay.
fact, look, lots of my peers in the music business and film business all agree that it's fabulous. They really think I've done wonders. Even a
I
very
agree because
prominent,
I've seen it.
even a very
Yeah.
prominent BBC employee said to me, "I can't believe how marvelous some bits are." I said, "I don't like all of it, but some bits are wonderful." So I only did it just to make a point because people were slagging me up. When you read comments like that saying, Ian's delusional if he thinks he's ever going to sell it to Netflix, no, I'm not. I think even Disney could go for it if they see it because it's much, much better than the cartoon they made in 1951. I'm not deluding myself. I'm a professional. I'm a record producer who won a Brit Award, who had 40 different UK hits and sold over 40 million records in my career. Mixed the Pet Shop Boys, Bronski Beat, Bananarama, Kim Wilde. You can't say I'm rubbish, but after I've achieved a 50-year career of hits, that's what
Well,
makes me angry. It's just people looking to pull me down.
I
Just
like.
because, either because I'm gay or Jewish, or because they don't like my attitude in Doctor Who, or they're jealous of the fact that I made all 97 Doctor Who episodes.
Um. The well, I just lost my train of thought here. I like the fact that you have made this true to the book
I'm
with
just
the
worried about
darkness in it,
rice.
and
I'm just worried about the rice and chips thing because I saw several comments for rice and chips on your video, replying to your video about 3 days ago.
I haven't read any of those comments.
No, well, I did.
I already have high blood pressure. I don't need shit like that.
Said some awful, evil, terrible things. If that's the same guy, I'm not willing to discuss it with him anyway. Yes, I put it up for 24 hours, but most people missed it because I wouldn't put. They said, "Please put it back," but I won't. I just gave them a chance to see it, just a chance. And you can't find it. You can't look on YouTube and find it because it's unlisted. It's a private link, so you can't. So if you type in Alice in Wonderland, Ian Levine, you won't find anything.
Okay. Well, when I first read Alice in Wonderland, God, that was it was a long time ago. Okay,
Oh,
and I
or
would have, yeah, I would have never imagined.
still got my original copy my mum and dad bought me. It
Yeah.
captured my imagination because it was fantasy, but it was dark. It had dark sides to it. These were not nice people. The Queen of Hearts was not a nice people. She wanted to chop people's head off and gloat in the pleasure of cutting their heads off. A
Has th-
tyrant.
has there been a softer, kinder Disney-ish
Yep,
film of it, or would you say most of them are softer and kinder than the original books?
of course. Disney
Yeah.
was Disney was all singy songs and happiness and nothing.
Well,
Nothing scary.
imagine that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Disney put Tim Burton's version out, which was claimed to be darker, but it wasn't even the story. It was a different story. It was Let's Imagine Alice comes back to Wonderland 10 years later. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Dreadful, dreadful.
You, all right. So should we show some of it?
Let's start off.
You,
Let's
let's,
first clip.
okay.
We're going to
Yeah. Got,
start off with the clip you chose, right? Listen. The story, Alice in Wonderland, the book, starts with the real character, Lewis Carroll, who was the Reverend Charles Dodson, rowing a boat on the river. River
to hide a smile.
Cherwell.
Some of the other birds.
No,
sorry.
wrong clip.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go. Yeah. You can keep talking. I'm going to find the timestamp for this
It's the very early. It's the
that I
first.
wrote down. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. I got it. It's
Oh,
5 minutes and three
right.
seconds here.
Okay, right. Let me
Okay.
explain. This is Lewis Carroll, the real Lewis Carroll in real life, who took these three little sisters. Alice is on the right. Lorena is on the left. Now, the mother was called Lorena. They had no compunction calling a child after the. I think the four. Anyway, the middle one is either Mary or Edith. I'm not sure which. But those are from the pictures taken because Lewis Carroll was a photographer. He took actual pictures in 1860s, and he actually those are the pictures made in color and made to now be live. But they are the actual faces of the original three girls, and the face of Lewis Carroll. If you're looking him up on Google, you'll see Lewis Carroll, you'll see a picture of him. Is an exact person. That is the real picture of Lewis Carroll now talking. So this is him introducing his story to the three proteges. So go, you can play this now.
Okay, and Rice and Chips in the chat. I will get to your question here in just a second. Okay, here we go. Oh, and Ian, are two of these girls twins or are they triplets or
No, they're
no?
all about a
Okay.
year apart. They're sisters.
Okay, here we go.
Mr.
Well,
Dodgson,
this
please tell us a story.
She only wants you to tell us a story because she knows that it will be all about her. That's why. She's only interested for you to make up a story about her having these crazy adventures.
that's
That's what she
Nicola
seems to care
Bryant.
about these days. That
Oh,
and having her photographs taken by you.
oh,
Now,
She's in
now.
what?
danger of becoming a narcissist.
That's her.
Why can't
What?
you write a nice story
Her
about
voice.
me
not a bit in.
instead?
Shut up, you, and stop ruining things.
Now, girls, don't argue, don't fight. If I do decide to tell you a story, then it will indeed be about Alice and her mysterious adventures underground.
Oh, yes, please do.
Do we really have to sit here and listen to her reveling in her self-obsession? Oh, well, I suppose you might as well go on.
Once upon a time, there was a young girl called Alice, and she was sitting on a riverbank, watching her sister read her book.
And exactly what book am I supposed to be reading?
Does it really matter? Now, please do continue, Mr. Dodgson.
At least let it be a nice history book.
If you'll all stop interrupting, then I will tell you my tale. It is a tale of danger, of mystery and fantasy. A tale that will last
Nice.
forever.
You like this next bit, Shirley
It was
Cookley.
in this very time and
Yeah.
place that the Reverend
You say stop it?
No, I want
No,
you to
okay.
say Shirley
first
Cookley.
developed his fascination
Two of the
with the
Simons.
younger sister Alice. He watched transfixed as the sun caught on Alice's beautiful light brown hair, reflected off the gently lapping water of the river, capturing and mesmerising the Reverend Dodgson quite improperly. The parents of the Little sisters were Henry and Lorena Little, and in time to come, they began to view the Reverend's obsession with their youngest daughter as unhealthy and
That's a
unnatural.
real picture.
It-
You see, it's quite rude.
Okay,
That's a picture that Lewis Carroll took of Alice. That's real.
in what year?
1864, 65, around then.
Okay.
But look,
Wow.
it's not very proper. You know what I'm saying? It's because of his fantasies about her.
And who is this? Who is she?
That's Alice Liddell.
Alice Little.
The
Okay.
one that went to New York in 1932 when she was 80, the one that Verity Lambert made a film about. That is her. That is an actual photo that Lewis Carroll took of her. Let's carry on, please. Just after
Okay.
that.
Here we go.
led to decades of dark speculation. Dodgson's obsession led to him writing 2 books. Books he wrote about his favourite child, Alice's adventures underground, a title which later became forgotten, and it became more popularly known as Alice in Wonderland, followed by Alice Through the Looking Glass. Astonishingly, throughout the last 120 years, not one film or television programme has told this story faithfully, until now. In 2025, a full 160 years since the book first was released to its adoring public. In 1932, the very elderly Alice Liddell sailed to New York to greet her adoring public and recite to them those memories of the Reverend Charles Dodgson taking the 3 young sisters on a boat of the River Cherwell, where first he invented the amazing and bizarre stories of Alice's adventures underground, where she met the White Rabbit, the Mad Hatter, the Duchess, the Caterpillar, the Cheshire Cat, and the sadistic, brutal Queen of Hearts.
I love that. This is how it started, like the book, chapter 1.
Okay.
Chapter 1, Down the Rabbit Hole.
Always go back to Lewis Carroll. Every time.
I'm sorry, what?
You'll see, we always go back to Lewis Carroll every time between chapters. Just
Okay.
only should watch it for one more minute. One more.
One more minute. Okay.
Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the riverbank and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book that her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it.
Okay.
And what is the use
Okay.
of...
Now you got a couple of questions in the chat. Do you want to get to those?
Yeah. What did that right?
Okay. Okay. Let's see here. This is from Rice and Chips. Hi, Ian. I know you
No,
got a number.
Yes, he's yes and no. Yes, I offered Dan Starkey the part of the King of Hearts. I was still casting roles. I said he could do the King of Hearts. He just declined. Just said he was busy. So
Okay. And then
so he was not involved in it. Do you understand? He was not involved in it. But I made him an offer of a part. But lots of actors can't do things, so they've got something else on the same day. But I did offer it. He didn't say no, never. He just, I can't do it on this day.
right.
Fine,
Okay.
I did offer it to him. As I was telling you, there are 5 Doctor Who actors in it. There was Nicola Bryant, I told you that already, and John Leeson, who was K9, and Daniel Hill, who was in Sharda. And I didn't tell you the other two. The other two are Nigel Plaskett, who is Unstoff in the Rebus operation. Gavin Unstoff are the 2 con men. He's the younger one. Do you remember the Rebus operation?
Yeah.
I love him. He's a brilliant actor. He also acted in our alternative version of the Doctor Who story that was cancelled, Gallifrey. He's one of the 2 con men in that, which was to be written by Eric Sayward. Anyway, and the final one is Shirley Cooklin herself. She's my cousin. She's actually my first cousin once removed. She's very closely related to me. Her father, Len, was my grandma's father. Grandma's brother, sorry. So, I went round in the 70s for dinner to her house to meet her son, Benjamin Bryant, who at 18 was drowned at sea. And she's written a book all about the boating, the accident of this ship that wasn't seaworthy. There's a government-sponsored race called the Tall Ships Race, sponsored by the Thatcher government. And Shirley ended up taking the Thatcher government to court. There's a book out now all about it called Blame Not the Wind, it's called. Blame Not the Wind.
Okay. And did you say that there was a Doctor Who episode called Gallifrey that was supposed to be written by Eric Saubert?
Yeah, it's one of the 6 stories. Yeah, we made it. We made it. To send that to you as well.
Okay.
We spent a lot of money. It cost a fortune to make. It's got Julian Glover, Peter Miles, Peter Miles, and Milton Johns, Nigel Plaskett, John Leeson. It's a huge cast. Nicola Bryant again. A huge cast. Anyway, I love it.
Incredible. Wow. Okay. All right. So,
AI. Well,
yeah. Oh, yeah. The question here from Star Mole, is this AI?
How do I answer that? Okay, all the characters, all the people you see have been designed by a very clever artist in New York. What he did was I showed him the cartoon versions from the 1860s that a man called John Tenniel wrote for Lewis Carroll, and he designed all the characters I wanted. I said I want them to look almost like a photograph, like. So they're drawings that look like a real photo, and then that's what's been animated by a very clever artist in Bangladesh who uses AI to make them move. But there's no such thing as pressing a button and making it happen. It's very complicated what he's done. And if he does a first draft of episode 1, and I get about 100 different things I want to fix or change that I'm not happy with, it's a very long process to get it right. It never comes right first time. So yes and no is the answer to that question. The character is not AI, but the movement is.
Okay, very good.
Fair. Any other question? I want to know what this Rice and Chip says.
Let me put that one back on. Said hi, Ian.
Oh, that was that one.
I know you got. Okay, yeah, we've covered that. Okay, all right. So, do you want to move up to Alice following?
What's the next one? No, yes, okay.
Yeah, that would be next. That's at 11:11.
I have planned to show you 8 clips for various reasons for each one. I think when you've had 8 clips, you will get a very good flavour of what it's all about.
Okay.
This is now in the story. You see, Lewis Carroll only comes back in between chapters to carry on narrating and then fade into the story. You hear his voice, but we don't see him until the end of a chapter, which is why,
Okay.
because he's telling the girls on the beginning of his story. So I wanted to find a way visually in the series to have him telling the story to them, but to have the story, not boring like he's just describing it, but to see it real.
Okay. Now,
Does
do you
that
want
make sense?
to you want to play this, or you want to take another viewer question here?
I'll take another view
Go.
question. Dudley, I'm
Okay.
interested.
Okay, Rice and Crackers, is this pay-per-view or will this be on DVD, Blu-ray?
I hope both, but it's made primarily to sell to a streamer.
Okay.
We've got a lot of plans. If we can't find a major streamer, we can find lots of cable and satellite channels that will take it for a lesser price. The point is, I want to try. People who invested in it have got to try and get their money back. I can't give it somebody for £10,000. You know what I mean? To sell when it costs £60,000.
Well,
And it
this
should
tree.
cost a lot more. Should have cost a lot more. But I'm actually going to send this interview to the animator. I'd like him to see how we're talking about his work. I think he'd appreciate that and enjoy it, because he knows how, not finicky, but he knows how picky I've been about making every little tiny thing that's wrong right. I'm being this is why that first thing got me so pissed off, because the effort that's gone into it. And I'm looking at it now and I think it looks beautiful. I don't see what's wrong with it.
Right,
How could
right.
somebody say, you must be delirious if you're going to think Netflix or Amazon? I've seen a lot worse on Netflix or Amazon. And look at the Disney. Disney had that BBC Kids cartoon. What's it called? Blue something or other. Bluey, is it?
I don't know. I don't watch Disney. Well, I guess if you're gonna send this to somebody, I guess we better watch our language then. This tree is evil looking.
I am not going to pretend to not be me. I am who I am.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying me. Okay.
Won't stop me swearing.
All right, you ready to play this?
I hope someone's enjoying this. I am.
I'm having
Alice,
fun.
now listen, Alice has seen this white rabbit. She's dozing off on the riverbank. She's seen this white rabbit look at its watch, and she starts following it, because why would a white rabbit will have a watch? So can you go back about 10 seconds from where we are now?
Yeah.
I wanted to follow the rabbit into the rabbit hole, which is the famous thing down the rabbit hole. Yeah, let's start there. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Where else but a rabbit hole? Still, it's bigger than I expected. But it looks like even I can fit down it.
Alice runs across the field after it to see it enter a large gaping hole at the base of an enormous old oak tree. So Alice followed, never once considering how in the world she was possibly going to ever get back out again. Catching sight of the rabbit in the distance as she was running inside this enormous hole, she rushes forward carelessly, but before she even has time to stop herself, the ground disappears beneath her feet, and suddenly she finds herself almost floating slowly down a well, like one of those fluffy white seeds from a poplar tree in the autumn, with soft downy fronds attached, slowly floating downwards towards the ground.
Well, this is not quite what I expected falling to be like. Either this well is very deep, or I am falling very slowly.
Alice's skirts billow out, catching the air and delaying her fall. Drifting down like a slow elevator, she has nothing to do but eye her unexpected surroundings and come up with questions.
Why are there cupboards and bookshelves? Maps and pictures. It must be a very well-educated rabbit.
Alice looks at the bric-a-brac adorning the walls, and she pauses until she descends down to the next level.
What's that in that jar?
Don't stop it, but I want to say
reach it.
it's never ever been done correctly like this.
Orange
Never
marmalade.
done in a realistic manner by anybody
It's
that's done
empty.
it.
What a pity.
In the Jonathan
no, I
Miller
can't
one,
put you back where I found you, I'm afraid.
We've got a running
No,
down a big long
I
flight
don't
of
seem to be
stairs.
able to
This
float
is-
back
This is
upwards.
how it is in the
But
book.
nor can I drop you. You might kill someone below, or else smash to pieces. I'll just leave you here. Goodbye.
It looks so Victorian with all the bric-a-brac.
Alice continues to
Yeah.
feel almost surreally.
Okay, you can pause there. It goes on for a long time. She has to fall down properly in real time, a hell of a long way.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Now you want to jump up to Alice shrinking?
Well, we should talk in between because, we're supposed to be discussing it rather than just showing bits.
Okay. So the background of this behind her with all of the jars and everything looks so realistic.
That's the point.
To me, it looks real. Okay. It is that real?
I don't know because the guy in New York who designed the figures designed some of the backgrounds.
Okay.
So I don't know what mode he used to do it, but I imagine a lot of other photos composited, I would imagine.
Okay.
Getting photos of jars and things, Victoriana, like little swords crossed there and pictures on the wall, and there's maps and all sorts of things. I would imagine, you don't ask a magician his secrets. He's designed it for me, and the other guy is animating it, making it work.
Okay.
I think it's quite beautiful. I think we should jump. No, I think we go forward now. What's the next clip show?
All right. Okay, so we're going to go up to 2302.
We've shown 2 clips, yes?
Yes.
Alice falling down the rabbit hole. The next bit should...
Okay, 2302.
She's now fallen at the bottom. She now goes forward through the dark tunnel of mud and tree, and she gets herself in this beautiful hall. Great long hall with doors either side and curtains at the end, and she shrunk too much already. I was going to show I thought we picked the first place where she shrinks.
Let me go a little bit further. Yeah, we had that one. We had that clip for 2302.
Play from there.
From here? Okay. All right. Here we go.
I can't remember ever having seen such a thing. I'll be all right. I think it stopped for the present. Now at last, on to the garden.
Alice is now the exact right height, and so she tries to open the door, but of course it is locked.
Oh, of course, I locked you again, didn't I? Still, at least I know where the key is. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Alice realises that the key is still on the table, and she is now too short to reach it. She can see it by looking up through the glass, and she tries to climb up one of the table legs.
It's too slippery. Oh. Come, there's no use in crying like that. I advise you to leave off this minute. Oh, stop scolding me so severely. Just let me cry. Remember when I tried to box our own ears for cheating at croquet and beating you? There, that's shut you up. Whew, that helped. But it's no use now to pretend to be 2 people.
I would
Why, there's hardly enough of me left to make even one.
How much more?
Just show 5 because we're not getting what I wanted to show.
Go 5 minutes forward.
Minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're at 2310. Let's go to 20.
That's good. Where she's so big, she's cried a river of tears, and now she's small again, and the place is flooded from her tears. That's very far-fetched, but that's what the book's about.
Okay, we're at 2742. Let me ask you a question, Ian. How many times have you read this book? Because I remember this now and seeing it.
Lots of times, but I know the story.
Okay.
But I had to read a lot more to get the script correct.
Okay, now to you, does this look like you saw the story in your mind when you read the book?
Absolutely,
okay.
100%.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay,
so
that's
tiny last detail. So details that they are gas lamps in the ceiling because they're Victorian, so they didn't have electricity.
Right. Okay.
These are gas lamps,
Okay.
It's just everything. We did all the music as well. So.
It's the White Rabbit coming back.
Oh yeah, I want to ask you
rabbit
about
is
the
now
music.
Splendidly dressed with a top hat a pair of white kid gloves in one hand and a large fan in the other. He comes trotting along in a great hurry, all in a world of his own.
Oh, the Duchess! The Duchess! Oh, won't she be savage if I've kept her waiting? She has no patience on the best of days.
If you please, sir.
The rabbit starts violently, dropping the white kid gloves and the fan, and scurries away into the darkness as hard as he can go. Alice picks up the fan and gloves, and, as the hall is very hot, she keeps fanning herself whilst talking.
Dear, dear, how queer everything is today. And yesterday things went on just as usual. I wonder if I've been changed in the night. Let me think. Was I the same when I got up this morning? I almost think I can remember feeling a little different, but if I'm not the same, the next question is, who in the world am I? Ah, that's the great puzzle.
Alice paces back and forth, mentally going over it in her head.
I'm sure I'm not Ada, for her hair goes in such long ringlets, and mine doesn't go in ringlets at all. And
While
I'm
you
sure
watch
I can't
it,
be
tell
Mabel,
me what do you
for I
think
know
of
all
it?
sorts of things.
I think it's beautiful, and I'm wanting to make sure I got this right. This is going to be 4 hours when
It's-
completed.
No, it's not going to be.
Wow.
It is hours. It's four exact 1 hours. We timed it exactly. It worked out to exactly 4 hours.
Wow.
So,
How many pages is Alice in Wonderland? I
I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't remember. It's
12
rather
cha-
huge.
12 chapters. So the way we did it, we made each episode 3 chapters. So episode 1 is 1, 2, and 3. Episode 2 is 4, 5, and 6. Episode 3 is 7, 8, and 9. And 4 is 10, 11, 12. It's exactly split evenly.
Okay.
What I'm saying to you is that the detail we went to, for instance, we saw when the elderly Alice is going to New York to talk about it. You saw that earlier. The
Yep.
ship is the actual photo of the original ship, the actual one that she went on.
Wow.
You actually find a real photo of the ship in the 1930s that she actually went on.
Okay. It sounds like this was a tremendous amount of work, Ian. My God.
I can't imagine how much.
What about? Go ahead.
Sorry, just getting very distracted there.
Okay. Here, let me
Hold on.
mute you real quick. Here. Go ahead. Okay.
Who's that?
Okay, I had you on mute. You good to go?
I had to try. Yeah, I'm good to go. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Someone had just arrived back to the house after being away for the weekend. They hadn't realised that I was doing a podcast.
Do you need to take a break?
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay. Tell us about.
Take a break. Have you any more questions or messages for anybody?
Yeah. Well, there are no more messages in the chat yet, but I'm wondering about the music. You said you guys did your own music.
Yeah, me and Glenn. Glenn is the guy I co-produced my Northern Soul with. Glenn's brother is guitar player Owen Kalis, who has played on millions of hits and stuff. And Glenn Kalis, they're originally from South Africa, and then I think one aunt went to Australia and they came to England. But I've worked with them for 40 odd years. Owen I started working with in 1987. I said, no, 17. That's nearly 50 years. And Glenn I've been working with. I've known Glenn all that time. I went to Owen's wedding. But, and in fact, I even filmed Owen's wedding in 1996 with our brand new Sony video cameras that we talked about earlier.
Right.
Anyway, that's what I met Glenn, his brother there. You see, I was working with a guy called Clive Scott, who we wrote songs together, made these Northern Soul records together. And he, for 16 years, we're like a team. And he come back from jury duty, and the guttering on the roof of the house, was like falling off. So we got up on a ladder to fix the guttering. He slipped and fell backwards onto the concrete, smashed his whole head up, and that was the end of him.
He died?
Yeah. So we had a funeral.
Wow.
With
I'm sorry to hear that.
We had a funeral with 50 singers at it. So Glenn was the obvious choice to work to, and that was 2009.
Okay.
That's
Now,
16 years ago, and I worked with Clive for 16 years. Yes. So Glenn and I have done all this music together, all of it.
okay.
And all the sound effects. He's the sound guy and everything. But we wrote the music together. Every time, every piece of music, I've given an example of the kind of thing I want.
Right.
You know,
Right.
backwards and forwards without being in the same room, backwards and forwards on Zoom.
Now, would you? Yeah, that. It's amazing the day and age we live in, where we can actually just get on a video phone.
The music was so important to me because nobody's got it right musically. I need the music to be slightly weird, slightly ethereal, and slightly dark.
Okay. Ian, hang on just a second here. I've got a question from someone standing here. Hang on just one moment, and I will be right back.
Okay. Well, while he's talking, I'll keep talking to the viewers here. I hope
Yeah,
you can it.
Ian, I need to help my wife with something. Go ahead and keep going, and I will be right back.
I will keep talking. You mute your bit, and I'll keep talking.
Okay, I'll be right back. Thank you. You take over.
Right, I'm taking over. So, it's important to me that you understand the love that's gone into this and the fact that you can't find anything in history that's ever been faithful to Alice in Wonderland. I think the characters, I mean, when I had my birthday, the owner of the restaurant kept raving about how fantastic it was. He said, who are the actors? I said, well, the voices. He said, no, who are these people I'm watching? Who played Alice? I tried to explain to him it was created as art and then animated. So the voice of Alice is a wonderful actress called Rachel Gaffin, and the Duchess is another wonderful actress called Rachel Krieger. And these dogs are barking far too much. Anyway, I'm trying. Okay. You may know Rachel Krieger. Have you ever seen BBC? This morning or breakfast time, whatever it is, on a Sunday. She's the Jewish woman that with a bandana on her head who's been on many times. She's got quite a story. She was in the Edinburgh Fringe, and there was some anti-Semitic stuff that went up there, but she won away in the end. Anyway, she's the Duchess. But I like Shirley Cooklin's Queen of Hearts, which I've got it on audio, but we haven't done the picture yet, so you can't see it. But I think it's quite fantastic what we've done. I love it. I'm bringing my childhood dreams to life. I love what I'm doing. Can you mute me a second?
Yeah, here, hang on just a second, and you're muted. You ready?
Get someone to stop the dogs from barking because it's very distracting. That's the problem when you have 5 dogs. My sister takes one home for the weekend, so when he comes back, they're all barking at each other. You see, because they're in the park for the weekend.
Right.
Four stay here, and he takes one.
Well, they're getting caught up.
They're getting yeah, I know, but it's happening right in the middle of your podcast. It doesn't come back till about 9:30, so I was hoping he wouldn't have been back yet. Anyway, I've got this one here.
We've got a viewer comment here or a question. Let me see. Starmole says the voice work is amazing. I'm just not a big fan of the visuals. I almost feel like this would be better as an audio story. Well, then you can just listen to it on headphones, I guess.
Yeah, I always told one of the BBC Records, the guy I know very well who runs it, Demon Music, I told him it will work as a CD because it's got narration, so you would not have to see it. But without, the pictures are so lush and glorious. The pictures, it hurts me. That hurts me right deep in my soul. That hurts me.
Well, it's like somebody saying that they don't like a colorized episode of Doctor Who. Well, they can just televisions used to have a knob where you could turn the color off. So you could turn anything to black and white. I'm sure there's some way to do that easily on a computer. AI can probably remove the color in just one click these days. So if somebody doesn't like...
I was open-minded to colorizing the Daleks and the war games. What I wasn't open-minded to was the butchery, the chopping up of them. I didn't mind seeing them in colour as long as you still see them in black and white. I don't mind an alternative. But to
Right.
ruin the story by chopping huge chunks out of it, which were essential to the plot, is the work of a ham-fisted bun vendor, as Pertwee said.
Well, that was ridiculous. Yeah,
Ridiculous.
that was absolutely.
What Benjamin Cook did too. Anyway, I'm very surprised. You're the first person that hasn't liked the visuals. So maybe you'll answer me and tell me why you don't like the visuals. What is it you don't like? Because I think they look very lush and they tell the story perfectly in pictures, better than any other film or video ever has in the past. So what is it about them you don't like? Why don't you like them?
Yeah, drop it in the chat. All right,
Yeah.
so let's go up to 44:30 here. This will be clip 4 of 8.
Now, what you got now, let me explain. That the hall is filled with water, and it's all these animals have appeared, and birds, mostly birds. And Alice has led them out like a left-hand turn into this bit of ocean, which is it's all fantasy, hard to explain it logically. And they arrive at this island. Now, the island later on joins to the mainland with a bridge. But the moment she's on the island with all these, they've all been soaked in her tears when she was 10 foot high, magnified into this pool of tears. The chapter is actually called Pool of Tears. So now they arrive back on the island, but they're soaking wet and they have to get dry. The variety of creatures here is amazing. Remember, you're going to hear Nicola Bryant and John Leeson among them as well. So
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go.
In that case, I move that the meeting adjourn for the immediate adoption of more energetic remedies.
Speak English. I don't even know the meaning of half of those long words that you're using. And what's more, I don't believe that you do either.
The eaglet bends down its head to hide a smile. Some of the other birds titter audibly.
What I was going to say was that the best thing to get us dry would be a caucus race.
Since no one else is going to ask, what is the caucus race?
What a foolish, stupid question. Everybody here knows the meaning of a caucus race.
All pelicans know full well how to run a caucus race. Those who don't are dunces and imbeciles.
Aye, well, the best way to explain is to do it. First, I mark out a race course in a sort of circle. The exact shape doesn't matter. And then we spread our party along the course, find a place, everyone. There is no 1, 2, 3, and away. Just run when you like, and leave the course when you like. Everyone will be dry in no time. Let us begin.
The entire group run around like children in a school playground, and just as noisy until they have tired themselves out. But at least they are now all dry.
The race is over.
They all crowd round the dodo, panting.
I shall have to think.
The dodo sits deep in thought for a long while, with one finger pressed upon its forehead, like Shakespeare in a picture, while the rest wait in silence.
Everybody has one. and all must have prizes.
But who is to get the prizes?
Why, she, of course.
The dodo is pointing to Alice with one finger.
Okay.
The whole party.
Right, so
Okay.
wonderful. All the creatures are drawn by John Tenniel in 1860. All of them. We just made them come to life. The drawings in the book of all those creatures. That's what's so wonderful about it, about bringing... Nobody else has brought them all to life like that. Not even Disney, not completely.
Okay. Well, I was really getting into that. I almost forgot that we were live on YouTube because I want to watch this. I want to watch this whole thing again.
Yeah, well, you haven't watched part 2 yet. I've only just given it you. It's only just been finished.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Listen, the person that said they didn't like the visuals just realised probably why. Some people who I call Luddites, which because the worm Luddites is in the northeast of England. It was a Doctor Who episode about it, actually, called Mark of the Rani. The Luddites were against machinery because they believed machinery would remove their jobs. So they all rebelled against machinery in the same way as a lot of people are rebelling against AI, no matter how good it is, just because they think it will replace people. But what I'm telling you is you can never use AI to make this without a very firm guiding hand of an artist on it. It requires far more artist work from the animator than making a cartoon does, far more.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's so complicated to make them work like they are. I noticed watching that clip of them running, they're all running at different speeds and in different ways. They're not just going around in a circle like a cartoon would. Did you see that? They're all running at different speed, passing each other, and they're all, some are running slow, some are running fast. It's just amazing to see it. And look, it hurt me to be told that they thought it'd be better as an audio. Because, I made the audio.
Well, I don't know.
Audio and paid all the actors fully, all of them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, well, like I said, somebody can just put headphones on. Don't look at the screen.
Yeah.
I mean,
we made the audio for the video. That's the reason it exists.
Right. Okay. Now, here's a question from Star Mole. He or she is saying, no offense meant. The characters dip too much into the uncanny valley, and it feels a bit redundant anyway when all of their actions are narrated. I'm not.
Well, first
I'm not
of all,
quite grasping what that means.
No, I am. First of all,
okay.
Creatures like the dodo, which is an extinct bird. You know what I mean? There is no such thing as a live dodo to even be on it. It's a fantasy because dodo is extinct. And that is, the dodo is depicted as a character speaking with its own personality, with a pipe and an old tricolor hat, tricorner hat, what they call, the old-fashioned 1700s or whatever. The reason the actions are narrated is very specific. It's because the story is being told by Lewis Carroll to 3 girls on a boat, and because he keeps telling it, without that, it wouldn't make sense. It would just be a story, because it's all part of a dream. So you have to separate that. It has to be narrated to fit in with the beginning and the end. And we can't show narrating it because it will make it really rubbish all the way through it. And Lewis Carroll was there. So every time a new chapter starts, we go back to him and we have him fade back into the action. But it needs to be narrated to make it authentic. I told you, authenticity was the most important of all to me.
Okay.
But this uncanny valley thing, a dodo is never going to look realistic, is it? I mean, what you've got is an old mother crab, and you've got a pheasant there, and you've got an egret, and you've got a pelican, and you've got an owl. I mean, it's fantasy. It's pure fantasy brought to life, and brought to life in a different way than everyone's done it before. So the uncanny valley thing is because I want it to look realistic.
Okay, very good.
Some people have said Doctor Who reconstruction of AI is the uncanny valley, because it's all uncanny valley where people don't like it is because it's verging on real, but it just doesn't feel quite real now. That's what the uncanny valley is. But how else can you do Alice in Wonderland? How else can you do it? Jonathan Miller did it with all humans. The Mad Hatter and the March Hare were just Peter Cook and Michael Gough. You see what I'm saying? They were not even meant to look like a hat or a hare.
Right. Okay. And
Whereas Verity Lambert's Dream Child, they really, I wish I had a photo to show you of the hatter and the hare in hers, because that's what inspired me to do this.
what?
But they only did, with the story of Alice's visit to America, they only did 3 clips from Alice in Wonderland. One was the March Hare and the Mad Hatter Tea Party. One was the caterpillar on the mushroom talking to Alice. And one was the griffin and the mock turtle at the seashore. And there were only 3 clips. You know, we've done the whole series. We've already finished 2 and a quarter episodes. Yeah.
What year did Verity Lambert do hers?
81.
1981. Okay. All right. Now, there's another question here.
44 years ago.
Okay. Wow, I can't believe that. 81 doesn't seem like.
What is Velvet Underground talking about?
Okay.
We've done Sharda for real. We've done Sharda with all the real people in it. It looks as part like the way we've done this.
Well, yeah, I've seen it. I have it on a hard drive.
I did Sharda in 2011 with cartoons filling the missing scenes in. In 2018, the BBC did it with Charles Norton, copying what I'd done, but leaving loads of scenes out, so it was never as good as what I did. But I did Sharda with Lalla Ward and Daniel Hill. That's how Daniel Hill's in this, and everybody. And then we redid it. Well, we did it, and the BBC redid it, which I didn't like, as a complete movie, and that was even worse. So in the end, people didn't like that. So the BBC redid it for the box set 17, which has got 6 episodes in it, right?
Yeah, I have that.
Stars too much between the cars, and they left loads of stuff out because Graham Williams had told me he was going to have a Dalek, a Cyberman, a Zygon, and a Wirren in it. They left all that out completely, and just had the Prisoners of Sharda, which is pure zombies, where there's a whole list on the BBC PSBs, Programized Broadcast, what it was supposed to be, where there was Lucretia Borgia, Rasputin, Genghis Khan, Bodicea, loads of characters from history were supposed to be in it, and we did that properly. So why did he say it wasn't? It was never finished. We finished it in 2000.
Yeah, I know. I have it on a hard drive. I just saw it yesterday.
Everybody, have you had my Sharda from 2011? Yes.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, hang on. Every single investor in Sharda got a copy of it. So the investor didn't put that much money in anyway. Nowhere near that much.
Well, I don't know how I have it, because I didn't invest in it. But I just saw it yesterday when I was looking through my Doctor Who folder.
I did my best. I made it wonderfully, and I tried to set the BBC there. Dan Hall led me to believe all along, with Ed Stradling, we had dinner at Joe Allen's a couple of times, that he was going to do it. He kept making notes and things he wanted to change. It was only, as Ed will tell you, only at the very last minute did he pull out and say no. He led me on to believe for 2 years that he was going to put it out. And now listen, I had all good faith. Everybody that invested got a copy of it. There's only one person that was left disgruntled, a guy called Kevin Miller.
Beneath the window,
who did the,
Alice suddenly spreads out.
Stop that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Who did some of the model shots, and he was very ugly and very unpleasant. So in the end, when we just redid it recently, I redid every single shot of his, because I didn't want one single shot of his in it. But we redid it all with, it looks like Tom Baker live, Lalla Ward. I wish I could show you a clip from it, but we've done, of the 6 episodes, 4 are finished, and they're already on private links on YouTube for my investors. And the other 2 in the middle of at the moment. Guys actually working on part 5 at the moment. So I think the Sharda now, where there are no cartoon at all, but all those scenes are looking as real, mixing in with the real footage. They're amazing.
Would you be willing to do another episode about Sharda, where we can present some media?
No, because I don't want the BBC to see clips publicly, because my Sharda episode is not publicly there, unlisted episodes that nobody can find without the link. you have to have a link or you can't see them.
Okay, gotcha.
Link. So no, I wouldn't do that because then the BBC could then, they've been very good to me as far as allowing this to go on, because people like the cockroach in Arizona has written to them and accused me of bootlegging their product and all sorts. And, you know, I've had to prove to them that I'm not charging anybody to see episodes. I'm only giving, but if people can afford to contribute voluntarily, I welcome it, because otherwise we wouldn't get them finished. Some people have voluntarily contributed to get them done. The same with my original Sharda. Whoever said that, I think you're being a bit of a troll, because why do people look for the worst in me? Why do people like Gary Lee look for the worst in me always? I don't understand it. It's loathing. Just anything they call me a scam. I've done nothing but lose money. I lost my life savings to make the Doctor Who things. I've raised everything I could to do, Alice, with members of my family, and the Sharda I've done twice. So why, you know, nobody that got a copy of the finished Sharda like 14 years ago complained to me about that. They're all okay about it because they know I try my best, and they got to enjoy it privately. I never put it out publicly, only privately. There are real trolls, you know, especially with Doctor Who.
You must have, yeah, you must have given me a copy then. Thank you, because I don't remember how I got it. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at part 2 here, and this is at 40 minutes and let's see, 25 seconds. Is it okay to just start right here?
No, I want you to do it in order, like we did the first 3 in order.
Okay. I got it exactly on the second right here.
I want the first. That's later. I want to start off.
Gotcha. Okay, so 9 minutes.
Yeah, the White Rabbit's house, because now they've all got dry. All the birds left because she was talking about a cat. They got scared. The White Rabbit comes back to find her, to tell her to fetch his gloves and fan from the house, and that's where we are now. White Rabbit's house.
Okay, here we go. It's at 9:12. Somehow, I wrote the timestamps down backwards. How in the world did I do that? Okay, here we go.
And get in through the window.
That you won't. No way, no how.
After waiting until she hears the rabbit arrive just underneath the window, Alice suddenly spreads out her hand and makes a snatch in the air. Alice hears a crash as the rabbit falls backwards onto his garden, with the glass shattering.
Oh dear, I only meant to scare him. He must have fallen into a cucumber frame or something of the sort.
Pat, where are you?
Sure that I'm here, digging for apples, Your Honour.
Digging for apples, indeed. Here, come and help me out of this.
Alice can hear the sounds of a lot more broken glass.
Now tell me, Pat, what's that in the window?
Sure, McGarren, it's an arm, Your Honour.
An arm, you goose! Whoever saw one that size? Why, it fills up the whole entire window.
Sure it does, Your Honour, but it's an arm for all that.
Well, it's got no business being there, at any rate. So go and take it away.
Alice listens very carefully until the silence is broken again by more movement all around the window.
Sure, I don't like it, Your Honour. I don't like it at all.
Do as I tell you, you spineless coward.
And so Alice spreads out her hand again, and she makes a snatch at the air. This time there are 2 little shrieks, and even more sounds of broken glass.
What a large number of cucumber frames there must be. I wonder what they'll do next. As for pulling me out of the window, I only wish they could. I'm sure I don't want to stay in here any longer. Everything is so queer today.
And so now Alice waits quite some time without hearing anything more, until at last comes a rumbling sound of little cartwheels and the sound of a good many voices all talking together.
Wow. This is gorgeous, Ian.
I think so. The essence of Alice. Wow.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
This is the essence of what Alice in Wonderland is about, these characters. To realize them in a realistic way, uncanny valley or not. Why do you stop for a second? I want to say, not everybody is going to be a troll, and not everybody is going to be awkward just looking, like about investors and stuff. It just amazes me how rude people can be. What I do want to say, if anyone watching this has any good contracts at Netflix or Amazon or Disney or the BBC even, I want to get it offered to them. So I want people with a good heart to help me get it shown. Carry on, I want to see more of this.
Okay, here we go.
Where's the other ladder?
Well, I only had to bring but one, and Bill's got the other.
Bill, fetch it here, lad. Here, put him up at this corner.
No, tie him together first.
They don't reach half high enough yet.
Oh, they'll do well enough.
Don't be
That
particular.
bit's got a fault, got to be
Here,
fixed.
Bill,
So I
go
told you
down
there's a couple of
this
faults.
Will the roof bear it?
Mind that loose slate. Oh, it's coming down. It's below.
Oh.
Ian, I didn't detect a fault. And
No, the fault was because I'm telling you, we're very finicky. They talk about tying two ladders together, and I've told the animator he has to do that, which you haven't done yet. That's one of the three things that's still being fixed.
okay, well, I wouldn't have known that if you.
No, it's simple as that. It has to be correct. I want you to get to the bit where the lid climbs down the chimney. Go on, you like this?
Okay, here we go.
Enjoy this.
Now, who did that?
It was Bill, I fancy.
Who's to go down the chimney?
Nay, I shan't. You do it.
That I won't then.
Bill is to go down. Those are my orders.
Here, Bill. The master says you're to go down the chimney.
Oh, so Bill's got to come down the chimney, has he? Shame, they seem to put everything upon Bill. I wouldn't be in Bill's place for a good deal. This fireplace is narrow, to be sure, but I think I can still kick a little.
And thus it came to pass that Alice draws her foot as far down the chimney as she can, and she waits until she hears a little animal. She can't tell what sort of animal it actually is, but it is scratching and scrambling about in the chimney close above her.
This is obviously Bill.
Alice has no idea that Bill is actually a lizard. She gives one sharp kick and waits to see what happens next.
Oh, there goes Bill. Catch him. You by the hedge.
There is a long period of silence.
Hold up his head. Give me some brandy now. But don't choke him. How was it, old fellow?
What happened to you? Tell us all about it.
So that's Bill.
Well, I hardly know. No more, thank you. I better know, but I'm a deal too flustered to tell you. All I know is something comes up me like a track in the back, and up it goes like a skyrocket.
So you did, old fellow.
I know what we must do. We must burn the house down.
If you do so, I'll set down.
I love the bit where she kicks him up the chimney.
Right. And just give him some brandy. Was that a solution back then?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is absolutely gorgeous.
I think.
Yeah.
I think so. And people criticize me heavily. Say Ian Levine can't take criticism, but I've spent so long with this getting it perfect that the criticism so far has been about Uncanny Valley, and it's been about people who invested on Charter, and I think that's both unfounded.
Okay, very good.
I really do. Look, you don't have to watch this. I put a lot of work into it, and you saw it, and you liked it, so you wanted to do a thing about it.
Yeah.
I talked about it. Please God, one day it becomes the biggest thing in the world. Huge, huge hit. You're going to be glad you got this, because this will be a wonderful piece talking about it that was done at the time almost. Now,
Well, and thank you, Ian. I have to say thank you.
Now, welcome to John Leeson, who was K9, of course.
Okay, and
You're all familiar with John Leeson.
Oh yeah, the voice of K9.
Alice Meets the Caterpillar.
Doesn't John Leeson still do K9 and Big Finish?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
All right, so this is going to 1845, and here we go.
Nothing at all that looks like the right thing to eat or drink under the circumstances. There is a large mushroom growing near her, about the same height as herself. She looks under it, on both sides of it, and behind it.
I might as well look on top of it, I suppose. If I just stretch on my tiptoes, then... Oh!
Alice's eyes are immediately met by those of a large caterpillar that is sitting on the top with its arms folded, wearing a fez and quietly smoking a long hookah and taking not the smallest notice of her or of anything else.
What was that?
Fezzes are cool.
Yeah, fezzes are cool. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. Chapter break. See how
I love the music. I'm getting a lot of good bass, even through these headphones that don't have a lot of bass. I need to watch this with headphones on.
he would go back to Lewis Carroll again, you see.
Okay. Yeah.
It's important that he keeps reminding you that he's telling the story. That's
Exactly.
very important to me, that he reminds you of where it's coming from. It's not just a Disney cartoon. It's all true. He actually told the story, made it out week by week to the girls on the boat.
You know, I'm gonna, when I rewatch this, I'm gonna use headphones because computer speakers don't do this justice.
I know.
The sound is so rich in
If you
this.
watch the picture on a big screen, watching it like this doesn't do it justice because the picture is phenomenal. It's like
exactly.
UHD.
Yeah, I watched it on a 70 or 80 inch or something like that.
The caterpillar puffs away at its hookah, enjoying the smoke as if it had not a care in the world. Then the doped-up, opiated larvae and Alice stare at each other for some time in total silence. And then, at last, the caterpillar takes the hookah out of its mouth and begins to address her.
Who are you?
I hardly know, sir, just at present. At least, I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have changed several times since then.
What do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
I can't explain myself, I'm afraid, sir, because I'm not myself, you see.
No. Don't be so ridiculous, no. I don't see.
I'm afraid I can't put it more clearly, for I can't understand it myself to begin with, and being so many different sizes in a day is very confusing.
Stuff and nonsense. No, it isn't. It isn't at all.
Well, perhaps you haven't found it so yet, but when you have to turn into a chrysalis, you will someday, you know, and then after that into a butterfly, I should think you'll feel it a little queer, won't you?
Not a bit.
Well, perhaps your feelings may be different to mine, but all I know is it would feel very queer to me.
You? Who are you?
If you didn't make such very short remarks, well, I think you ought to tell me who you are first.
Why?
Another puzzling question. I'm not wasting my time on any more unpleasantness.
Come back. I've something important to say.
Go on, then.
Keep your temper.
Is that all?
No.
Well, I might as well wait a moment. I have nothing else to do. And perhaps if I wait, then it might tell me something worth hearing.
For some several minutes, the haughty caterpillar concentrates on its self-imposed task of extracting and sucking in the smoke from out of its bubbling hookah as it puffs away without speaking. But at last it unfolds its many rows of arms and takes the hookah out of its mouth.
So you think you're changed, do you?
That is for certain, yes. I'm afraid that I am changed, sir. I can't remember things as I used to be able to do, and I don't manage to keep the same size for even 10 minutes together.
Can't remember what things.
Well, I've tried to say, how doth the little busy bee, but it all came out totally different.
Well, now, I want to hear you repeat, "You are old, Father William."
And so Alice folds her hands and she begins to try to repeat her poem from memory.
You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white, and yet you incessantly stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it might injure the brain, but now that I am perfectly sure I have none, why, I do it again and again. You are old, said the youth, as I mentioned before, and have grown most uncommonly fat, yet you turned a back somersault in at the door. Pray, what is the reason of that? In my youth, said the sage, as he shook his grey locks, I kept all my limbs very supple by the use of this ointment, 1 shilling the box. Allow me to sell you a couple. You are old, said the youth, and your jaws are too weak for anything tougher than suet. Yet you finished the goose with the bones and the beak. Pray, how did you manage to do it? In my youth, said his father, I took to the law and argued each case with my wife, and the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life. You are old, said the youth. One would hardly suppose that your eye was as steady as ever. Yet you balanced an eel on the end of your nose. What made you so awfully clever? I have answered 3 questions, and that is enough, said his father. Don't give yourself airs. Do you think I can listen all day to such stuff? Be off, or I'll kick you downstairs.
That is not said at all right. It was terrible.
Not quite right, I'm afraid. Some of the words have got altered.
It is totally wrong from beginning to end.
There is now a very uncomfortable silence.
Okay. You know, let me tell you something strange that I'm getting from this. I feel like I've seen this before, okay? But that's impossible, correct? Because you just...
finished 2 days ago, this episode.
Okay, so why is it...
Because when you read Alice in Wonderland, this is exactly what you imagine.
But that was over 40 years ago. Yeah, that was...
because nobody's ever done it faithfully like this. That's what makes it so unique. That's why it should be a huge hit, if I can just get the lucky break with it.
Well, it's really messing with my mind. How in the world am I getting deja vu with something that I haven't seen yet? I mean, I couldn't have seen this.
Yeah, that's what the book suggests. It's never been done. Look at the Disney. There's nothing like this. Nothing like it. I'm very proud of this. I think it's quite magical. It's quite magical. I'm just hurt by the criticism. I know I should be more impervious. I should more, not let it get to me. But I just wish people would just come forward and say, yes, Ian, it's great, if they mean it. I don't want people to say, yes, it's great, if they pay me lip service. But I genuinely believe, I genuinely nail my colours to this flag. I genuinely believe in it. Just like my Doctor Who's like watching Marco Polo, is like watching the real thing. To me, this has recreated Alice in Wonderland for me and giving me an immense amount of pleasure. And I think a lot of other people, we're trying to hire a cinema in January to show all 4 episodes in a whole day, doing interviews, having people like Shirley Cooklin there and John Leeson and people. So we're trying to have an event to show it. The BFI refused because it's got AI in it, which is very short-sighted because even the Oscars and Emmys in America have now said they'll accept AI. It's progress. It's new technology. You can't pretend it doesn't exist because it does. I couldn't make Alice in Wonderland. Look how lush that forest. Look at the purple of the mushroom. It looks lavish and beautiful, like a fairy story come true.
See, I don't understand that because this... I've got to underscore. I feel like I've seen this before. Can
you tell how many people are listening at the moment or watching? I mean,
I don't know. It doesn't show that. But
It would
did
be
the
so nice if one of you watching just came forward and says we like it. It would just make me feel so much better. Sometimes you just want something positive and good rather than negative. That idiot at the beginning saying, you must be delusional if you think. I mean, I believe Netflix is perfect for them. They get a big audience for it. I really believe our Amazon Prime, but I've just got to get the right people to get the right context.
right? Okay. Now, did the book describe the mushrooms being purple? Do you recall? Because that's what I remember this as. I cannot believe I feel like I've seen this before.
Yeah, but I'm not
I
sure.
keep saying that over and over again.
But it does look like what you'd expect Alice to look like, and nothing else ever has, and that's what makes it unique in the history of the world. And that's what I wanted to do. Just like I wanted to get all the Missing Doctor Who episodes back before I died to see them again. So I always wanted to see Alice in Wonderland. If this is a success, I'm going to do Alice Through the Looking Glass and Alice Through the Needle's Eye. I'm going to do the other two. The second was written by Lewis Carroll. The third one was written much later by someone else, but is very much in character.
Okay.
I would like to do all three as four 1-hour episodes. All three of them.
Okay, here's someone in the chat is saying that there is one watching now, and I'm not terribly surprised by that, and here's why. I just asked Ian last night. Well, first of all, we're 8 hours apart. He's in England and I'm in California. I just asked Ian last night if he was available today, and just put the thumbnail on YouTube like 15 minutes before we went live. So that's not surprising. Watch how many have watched this episode by next week, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Personally, I don't care about numbers like
I'm
that.
going to share it. Yeah, I'm going to share it with everyone anyway.
Yeah, and I didn't see your email until this morning. So
I hope someone's going to enjoy it at least.
Yeah.
Okay, we're now going to come to my favorite bit.
Okay, so let's go up to 40 to 25. I still don't understand how I wrote these cues down backwards.
Alice has now come across the house.
Oh, that's too far.
Yes, that's too far.
Right there.
Anyway, right there is good.
Okay, here we go.
He enters into the house. The front door leads right into a very large kitchen, which is full of smoke from one end to the other. At first, Alice can hardly see. Then as she gets used to the smoke, she is surprised to see a large rotund lady, possibly the ugliest woman who she has ever espied in her entire life. This was the Duchess, who was sitting upon a three-legged stool in the middle of the room nursing a baby. The scrawny old cook is leaning over the fire, stirring a large cauldron which seems to be full of soup.
Don't you think the Duchess is ugly?
More minutes
okay,
for
hang on.
Don't you think the Duchess is ugly?
What's that?
Don't you think the Duchess is deliciously ugly? No?
Sort of, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how the Duchess is in your mind.
That's how Tennille drew her almost.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to get ugly. They remind me, the Duchess was when I was a kid, my grandma ran a hotel in Southport, and she had her and her cook Betty, who did everything. She was a cleaner, cook, did everything for my grandma Golda. And the relationship between the cook, the scrawny cook, and the Duchess here is like the relationship between my grandmother and Betty, which is incredible. Carry on.
You have your fingerprints all over this, don't you?
Ready yet? I must put more pepper into it. You can never have too much pepper in the soup.
Valid.
Oh, there's certainly too much pepper in that soup.
And indeed, there is most certainly too much pepper in the air. Even the Duchess sneezes occasionally, and as for the baby, it too is sneezing and howling alternately, without a moment's pause.
There's still some extra
The
sound
only things in the kitchen that do not...
I'm sorry?
There's still some extra sound effects yet to go on this week. And don't worry about it.
Okay. Oh, we got someone's trolling you in the chat again. It looks awful. Really, the Game Center? Then why are you watching it? Why are you watching it?
That's Brian Cagle from Phoenix. That's
Okay.
the cockroach. The
All right, just
slimy, sickening, loathsome, hateful.
okay.
This
Let's
is
go.
our
Let's go on.
cook and a
Hateful,
very
hateful
large
as-
striped
as
cat,
Trump.
which is sitting on the hearth and grinning
Hateful.
from ear to ear.
I love the
I
Cheshire Cat.
told you that cat shouldn't be allowed in the kitchen. It's totally unhygienic. Otherwise, you're going to end up with cat fur in your soup. Is that what you want? Cat fur and pepper don't mix very well together. So get that ridiculous cat out of my kitchen.
Please, would you tell me why your cat grins like that?
It's a Cheshire cat, and that's why. Pig!
The Duchess says the last word with such sudden violence that Alice quite jumps in shock, thinking that the Duchess was calling her a pig. But she sees in another moment that it was addressed to the baby and not to her, so she takes courage as she continues.
I didn't know that Cheshire cats always grinned. In fact, I didn't know that cats could grin.
They all can, and most of them do.
I don't know any of them that do.
You don't know much, and that's a fact.
This woman might be a duchess, but I do not like the tone of her remark. Not at all. And so I think it would be just as well to introduce some other subject of conversation. But what to fix on?
And shut that baby up. It's giving me a headache.
And whilst Alice is busy trying to think of another subject to make the situation into a friendlier one, the cook takes the cauldron of the soup off the fire and at once sets to work throwing everything within her reach at the Duchess and the baby. The fire irons come first, then follow a shower of saucepans, plates and dishes. The Duchess takes no notice at all of them, even when they hit her, and the baby was howling so much already that it's quite impossible to say whether the blows hurt it or not.
Oh, please, mind what you're doing.
Babies should be seen and not heard. Either shut it up or throw it outside.
In a panic, Alice jumps up and down in an agony of terror as an unusually large saucepan flies close by the baby and very nearly carries it off.
I'm going to keep throwing stuff at it till I shut it up.
That poor little baby. Oh, there goes his precious nose.
Why don't you mind your own business?
If everybody minded their own business, the world would go around a great deal faster than it does.
Which would not be an advantage. Just think of what work it would make with the day and night. You see, the Earth takes 24 hours to turn around on its axis.
Okay.
Talking of axes,
Okay.
chop off her head.
And if
I cannot believe that cockroach from Arizona had the audacity to put the thing on here. I can't believe, he already stole a copy of part 1 and he already put it on, which I haven't watched, I refuse to watch, put it on his Game Center site. This guy is obsessed with me.
Okay, well, Ian, you can ban him if you want to. Like I said, I don't censor or moderate anyone, but you're a guest,
Yeah,
and
please ban the Game Center.
just ban him. Okay.
Just ban him.
Yeah,
please.
why
He's
why don't
actually-
some people have the ability to be positive? My God.
He's sincerely loathsome. He's so
Okay,
bad.
he said something else. I didn't catch what it was, but it's gone. Okay, so we have 16 minutes left, and this is seven of 8 clips right here.
No, but
So
there's an I'm going to stop this clip. There's an extra one I thought of that I want to show you.
okay, sure.
Don't you think it's pretty good overall?
Yeah, I do. And
I was hoping for a podcast I could send to everybody that's considering getting involved in everything, and it would be lovely. But we've already had so many negatives that I'm thinking, why have I bothered?
yeah, I don't understand why people don't have the ability to
am
look
that
at something
hateful.
positively.
Look.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Died 3 times. Look at the illness I've had. I'm here trying to make my life's dreams come true while I'm still here. I had cancer twice. I had a very bad stroke. Similar strokes have killed other people. And I'm still here. And I'm still fighting to get my stuff made, to improve my other Doctor Who's. The 97, I'm still making a few better still. I'm making some of the stories that never existed in the first place, that were dreamed of, talked about. But that's what the Lord of Time was about. It was about the film that I was going to be the script consultant on, like a script on it. And I don't know. I don't know why I let myself. They make it worse. They goad me because they know it winds me up.
I guess just ignore it.
That Arizona cockroach has now seen that he's got to me, so he'll be jumping up and down, dancing in the street with joy.
Well, hey, you know what? Do you think things are worse now, or were they worse back on Usenet? Rec.arts.Doctor Who? You remember that?
It's on the internet then. All I will say, Brian Cagle reminds you of Stephen Miller, a person with no redeeming qualities whatsoever. I assume you know who Stephen Miller is, yes?
No, I have no idea who that is.
Well, he's Donald Trump's silent chief.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I don't want to talk about those people. I've got enough stress as it is without all of that.
How horrible
Yeah.
Brian Cagle is. And I went out of my way last podcast not to mention him, but this time he's come up in person and just said my work's rubbish. So I'm entitled. That gives me
Whatever.
a fair thing to attack him back. Because he's made 15
Agreed.
or 16 videos about me, slagging me off. And the fact that he made a video about Alice in Wonderland Part 1, 20 minutes of slagging him off, showing clips and stuff, means that I am going to report him for copyright theft. I've got no
Okay,
choice.
well, does he have a channel? Well, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah.
Let's quit talking about that
Yeah,
guy.
he has a channel, but I don't want any publicity.
Right. So do you want to jump? You said that you wanted to add one because we have 8 clips and we've got like 12 minutes left. So go forward or back?
Forward.
Okay, and by how many minutes?
6.
6 minutes. Okay. So we're at 44:15. So we're going to go to 50:15.
Yeah. After that, we're not there yet.
After that.
That's where that's what I want.
Oops.
That's
right
what
there.
I want. After the pig.
All right.
Basically the baby turns into
Right there.
Yeah.
Right here? Okay. Here we go.
Well, it looks good-natured enough, but it still has very long claws and a great many sharp teeth, so I ought to treat it with respect. Oh, Cheshire Puss? Come, it's pleased so far. Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here?
That depends a good deal on where you want to get to.
I don't much care where,
Then it doesn't matter which way you go.
as long as I get somewhere.
Right.
Oh, you're sure to do that, if you only walk long enough.
What sort of people live around here?
In that direction live the Hatter, and in that direction live the March Hare. Visit either you like. They're both mad.
But I don't want to go among mad people.
Oh, you can't help that. We're all mad here. I'm mad. You're mad.
How do you know I'm mad?
You must be, or you wouldn't have come here in the first place.
And how do you know that you're mad?
To begin with, a dog's not mad. You grant that.
I suppose so.
Well then, you see, a dog growls when it's angry and wags its tail when it's pleased. Now, I growl when I'm pleased, and I wag my tail when I'm angry. Therefore, I'm mad.
I call it purring, not growling.
Call it whatever you like. So tell me, are you about to play croquet with the Queen today?
I should like it very much, but I haven't even been invited yet.
You'll see me there.
But quite suddenly, and to Alice's utter astonishment, the Cheshire Cat simply fades away into thin air until he has become quite invisible.
Okay.
Alice finds it rather hard to comprehend.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. I like
He
that. I
has
like
just
the performance. I like his performance.
That's yeah.
Elaine.
That's absolutely excellent voice. And
It's my
it's
friend Leighton Harborfield, who's an actor who also is a Doctor Who fan. He's very, very good.
absolutely excellent.
Right. So, how many minutes we got left?
9.
That's 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I had asked you for 2 hours. I actually can't run over 2 hours. Otherwise, I can't make AI generated shorts. So that's a limitation of StreamYard. So, and I also have to say thank you to Spill the Geek Tea for the use of StreamYard. The timescales channel, or the timescales streams, and Tea After Dark come out of Reverend Amagon's studio, and for that I wanted to say thank you. Now
Anyway,
we have
spread this very wide on Facebook and Twitter and Blue Sky and everywhere, and just hope that people see it. I hope that some people like it. If it was me, I'd look at it and ignore what anyone says. I think this is great, so I want people to find it for themselves.
Mad Hatter
I've even
has
got
been
Alice
looking
in
at Alice
Wonderland's
for...
Facebook page. Oh, at the Mad Hatter's Tea Party now.
Okay.
This is lovely. This is brilliant.
Okay, let me go back a couple of seconds here. Okay, here we go.
More than 3.
The Mad Hatter has been looking at Alice for some time now with great curiosity and puzzlement.
Your hair wants cutting.
You should learn not to make personal remarks. It's very rude.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Come, we shall have some fun now. I'm glad they've begun asking riddles. I believe I can guess that.
Do you mean that you think you can find out the answer to it?
Exactly so.
Then you should say what you mean.
At least I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know.
It's not the same thing a bit. You might just as well say that I see what I eat. It's the same thing as I eat what I see.
You might just as well say that I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like.
I say that I move when I dance is the same thing as I dance when I move.
But I just as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe.
It is the same thing to you.
After such pointless examples, here the conversation drops away to nothing as the tea party sits in silence for a long minute.
Okay. Yeah, just the chair starts putting honey onto the sleepy dumbass's nose.
Honey?
Honey, yeah.
Yeah, honey. You still didn't answer my question as to whether or not you would ever put honey on pizza.
I don't like honey.
You don't like honey? Okay. Well, Ian, listen, thank you for sharing this because, like I said, I didn't know. And
number one, I think we've just shown a very good cross section of the first half of it. Anyway, a very good cross section. I think we've given a very good flavour of what it's like. I accept not everyone's the same. I accept that if the guy said it was Uncanny Valley, he wasn't being unnecessarily rude. He just wasn't for him. But then I accept that when someone comes in who is a main known troll, just to cause trouble, that's the thing that bothers me.
Well, when somebody said Uncanny Valley, either I'm not familiar with that term or that may be a British reference because I've never heard of anything like that.
It means when something looks almost lifelike, but something about it doesn't quite feel right. That's what it means.
Okay.
Look, you can never please 100% of the people 100% of the time.
True.
You can please some of the people all the time. You can please some of the people none of the time. I'm trying to make something that I think is quality, lush, lasting, and brings the essence of Alice in Wonderland to life. It's very dear to my heart. I'll be very sad if we don't. It really upset me when someone talked about people investing in Sharda because that was 11 years ago and we did finish it. We finished the whole thing, animating all the missing scenes. I never got booked by the BBC because of Dan Hall. He'd led me on for 2 years and then pulled out. And Ed, who was doing it with me, Ed Stradling, said he couldn't believe that Dan had pulled out because he seemed so positive about it. So maybe someone else who didn't like me had a word in his ear. I don't know.
Well, now I'm wondering how in the world I have your Shada because did someone steal that from you and put it on BitTorrent? Okay. All right. Well, sorry, I didn't know. But yeah, it's absolutely complete. I saw the folder for it yesterday.
I know, but what we've done now is so much better because instead of a cartoon doctor arriving at Chris's lab to speak to Claire Keatley, it's a real life looking. It all looks real.
Right. So how much time has this taken? And if you were to estimate the hours that have been put into this.
Couldn't begin to. It took from August, September 2024 up to at least the end of this year, because we've still got to finish episodes 3 and 4. With all the music's been done, and all the basic sound effects have done, Glenn wants, when I finish each episode, like I've just finished number 2, to give it back to him so he can fine-tune the special noises. For instance, if there's a noise that someone falls in, there's a crash, it's got to be dead in the right place. He's got to move someone around
Right.
slightly. This is all post-production we're doing at the moment. But I
Okay.
certainly had enough in part 2 to show you those scenes from it.
Okay.
I think
Well,
it's good.
yeah.
The favourite scenes are the Duchess's house. I must just say, my grandma was very beautiful. She wasn't ugly, but it's her relationship with Betty, who was a scrawny old cook, backwards and forwards, because she was like my grandma was like the Queen Mother, like a Duchess. It was just that backwards and forwards relationship between someone who's quite posh and someone who's quite rough. I really got that essence from the cook. I really loved that.
So would you say that this is?
We haven't done the Queen of Hearts yet. We got her voice done. It's wonderful.
Okay.
She's got great lines about executing people so their blood can congeal and make her roses better.
There we go. All right. So would a good summary be that this is very dear to your heart?
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't have done it otherwise. Why would I?
Right.
I would
Yeah.
love to do Alice for the Looking Glass, but we can't unless this is a success.
Okay.
Can't because the money was spent.
Right. Okay, Ian. So let's wrap. Unless you want to add anything else. I appreciate your time again, sir. And anytime
I would like to say I'm going to post this on my Alice in Wonderland website.
Okay.
And I'll post this on my personal Facebook page and various places. So I'd like to apologise in advance for the swearing. When that first awful troll came on, of course I was going to swear. I just can't help it. I haven't got that much control over my anger, which has always been my main fault. So, I do lose.
Okay. Listen, I was going to tell you.
I can get you at least 1,000 people will be seeing this, and I hope
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
offense at the swearing, because what I want to say is, anybody watching this in any position of contacts and power, I really want to offer this to Netflix and Amazon and Disney, those three, and the BBC, and possibly HBO Max. But I really want to get it offered out there. I want people to see it, them to see it, and it looks like it's had a hell of a lot more money spent on it than it has. It really looks like £1 million been spent on it. It's what uncanny valley or not. Do you not think those scenes in the forest with the purple mushroom and the rabbit's house with all the beautiful flower garners, don't they look lavish?
I still don't understand how the mushroom scene is something that I thought I had seen before. I felt like I was just re-watching that,
I want
and I
to
don't.
find one more little bit about when Alice sees the garden. Can you put part 1 back on?
We've only got 1 minute before we wrap, Ian. So.
Can't I try to find it in a minute? No.
Okay, which one is it? Part 1?
Part 1.
Okay, part 1. Okay, that's the poster right here.
Once crowd around her.
No, way before that. Way before that.
Okay.
I would think try about 25 minutes and see where we are.
Okay.
Okay, hang on. Don't go. This. It's way before this. I would go back 10 minutes. That's it. That's what I want to show you. That was it.
Right there?
Yeah. That before that. It's leading in. That's the garden. I want to show you how fabulous.
Now, Alice could see in the doorway that it led into a small passage, not much larger than a rat hole. But she could see at the far end of the passage, quite simply, the loveliest garden that you ever saw. How she longed to get out of that dark hall and wander about.
Okay, we got 30 seconds to wrap, Ian.
Privet hedges in a myriad of different shapes, and those beds of bright flowers, and those fountains.
Take it off. Okay.
Ian, thank you. Thank you, sir.
I love that to bits. I think that's fabulous. She does end up there. That's where the queen is with her croquet game. She has to get there yet.
Okay. Ian, this was absolutely wonderful. Keep in touch. Thank you very much.
Can you send me a link for it right away so I can put it up for you to people?
I will do it. I'll do it right now. Have a nice evening.
Thank
It
you,
was great,
buddy.
great to see you again, and I really appreciate it.
For those who enjoyed it, I love you. And for those who didn't enjoy it, I hate you.
Good night, everybody. Peace
Bye.
out from Tea After Dark, England to San Francisco.